create that wireframe into nice stunning design. So at this point, you are expecting them to have provide you with colors, images, logos, and maybe text that they want to use for the design. All right. So in this case, because we are doing a demo class here, we're going to be the one to get all of that ourselves. All right. So yeah, the first thing first is I want to redesign this to low fidelity or high fidelity design. So I'll just duplicate this screen, Alt, hold Shift
Okay.
and Alt, and then so duplicate that. Then I'll zoom down, I'll zoom in, and then I'll come down here. Then I'll start first with turning on my layer grid for the entire page. And then the next thing is I want to select this one. So this section one, what is it exactly for? I can't remember. Okay, I think I should be able to remember. Let me turn off these ones. I think this is for search. This is for okay, yeah.
Yes.
This my I should be able to remember with this one. This is M is for menu, search, notification, and C is for cards. All right. So I need three icons and then what's it called? To design this card section. So I'm still going to be working with black and white, or maybe no, I can decide color I want to use. But first thing first is I want to turn this into the what's it called menu section. So I'm going to come out here, I'll click out, I'll right click. So there's something we call plugins in Figma. Plugin allows you to access um, other things, third party elements, maybe shape, maybe images or whatsoever. So in this case, I want to use an icon. So I don't want to create an icon from the scratch myself because if I'm doing that, it's going to take me a lot of time to achieve. So what I can do here is I'm going to use a plugin to get what I need to do done. So I'll right click and then I'll click on plugin. But then you don't always have all of these like this. Please pay attention. You don't always have all these plugins
Mm.
like this. So what you always have is empty. So what you can do is you come down to these parts here and then you come to plugins and then you can check the community here. When you click on go to community, it takes you down to the community and then you type in the kind of plugin you want to install. So in my case, let's take for example, let's say it's icons, Iconify. Let's say it's Iconify I want to install. I'll just type in icons here, icons. So and then I'll press enter and then it takes me to it shows me the numbers of plugins available for icons. Do you understand? So but in my case I want to use Iconify, so that's what I pick. And then icons 8, that's why I'm using these two icons. If it is images that you want, you type in images. So it shows you photos and other image plugins. And autoflow is just like the connector we observe in FigJam, something that connects one thing to another one. So that's what autoflow is for. All right, so that's that about that. So in my case, I already have Iconify. So I'll just right click, I'll click on plugin, and then I'll click on Iconify to bring out that plugin. So if you don't have, you go to this place, this widget section, these resources, and then you click on community,
Okay.
and then you browse the community, you ask the kind of plugin you want. So in my case now that I have Iconify, I just want to type the kind of icon I want. And the kind of icon I want is menu. So I'll type menu here and then it loads up. So I think I'm okay with this kind of menu. I'll drag it out. Okay, and that is out. It's in black color. So if I want it in another form of color, I can turn on the color here like this. So but that's not a problem. I can still change the color whatsoever, even if it is black. I drag it. So the next icon I want is notification because I'll be having notification. So that's the bell. So what bell can I use? What bell can I use? What bell can I use? Yeah, this should do. I'll drag this down. This should do. And that is out as well. So the next icon I want to use is cat. Type cat and then click on enter. So cat. Okay, I think this will do. This will do. So I'll drag it out. Yeah. So I'm still going to need one icon which is search. That's for the search section. So which one should I go for? Which one? This should do as well. So I'll drag it down like this. Oh well, probably you're not seeing anything on this artboard. Don't worry, you will see them. But so far I have my layer section. I can always locate where all these icons are. So once I'm done with that, I can close
Yeah.
this part off. So when I close it up, I'll select all the icons I just imported, select all of them, and then give them a white color, selective color. Don't use fill color. The reason why you're not using fill color is that when
Okay.
you're dragging all of these, right, they are all inside the frame. All the
Mm.
icons are all inside the frame. So when I click on fill color,
Okay.
it means I'm talking to the frame color. Are you seeing it?
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Except I select the vector, which is the icon itself. That's when the fill color is active.
Okay.
But if I'm on the frame,
Okay.
what I can do is I'll scroll down a bit, and then you can see selection color. Selection color means that colors used within the frame.
Yeah,
Colors used
icon.
within the frame.
Okay.
You can change it to whatever color you want. So I'll select everything one should be, and then I'll come down to the selection color. I'll do this right FF, and then I'll press enter. So all of them turns into white, whereas they are all inside their individual frame. So I can rename this to just search. If it's too much for me to like the name is too, the naming convention is too much, I can just give it the rename part, and then notification on notification out. This one should be menu, something that I can easily relate with. Alright, and I can also resize them if they are too big. So I'll come down here. This is where I want to put them, right? That's 40 pixel high. So it's not a problem. So I'll select this. I'll lock this for me to be able to like resize them both the width and height. So I can do the same for all others. That's not a problem. But I'll start first with the menu. So I'll drag the menu to its position. I think the menu doesn't have to be in white color. But yeah, but I'll drag it in. But before we progress, right? I think before we progress into wireframing, there are some things I still need to talk about. Sorry, before we progress into the design, rather, there are still some things you need to learn about, and we will learn about them shortly. And the very first one is called component. Component, here is it here. So
Okay.
this component allows me to do a lot of things within my project. Take for example, if I click on this to make it a component, it is automatically turned into a purple kind of thing. So and one thing is if I drag this component down here, I will duplicate it with Alt so that it creates a new one inside there for me. So now look at this menu is having this symbol. So that means it's an instance of this master component. Look at the master. The master is having like a bulleted icon, while the servant or the instance. Are you following along?
Yes.
Why the instance is not having that icon, that kind of icon. So that helps you differentiate the master from the instance. This is the master, and then this is the
Yes,
instance.
for instance.
Yeah, you can see. But one thing about this is, look at when I turn the color of the master, when I do anything to the master, right? Let's say, for example,
Yeah.
let's say I turn this to this color. Can you see that? Can you see that effect is
Yes.
applied to the instance? If there's anything I'm doing to the
Yes.
master, it will affect the
Okay.
will affect the instance. So I'm scaling it as well to about 2 pixels. See, it scales it as well. If I'm reducing it, see, it affects it as well. So now that's one of the beautiful thing about Figma, and that's one of the beautiful thing about components. So going forward, we'll be working with components. It makes work easier to achieve. It makes tasks easier to achieve. You don't have to stress to get work done. You get things done easier. So now I'll progress. I'll come back here and then I'll start by creating a frame first. Here, I'll create the frame here. So I'll call this one the menu because that's where the menu stays. So it's meant to be inside this section one. I'll delete this rectangle. Sorry, this is the rectangle. I'll delete it, and then I can give this color so that I can be able to see what I'm doing. So I'll give this a color that is off the colors there exactly, or better still, I can color the section so I can see what is really going down the hood. So I can color it like this exactly. So that does not mean that that's the exact color I want to use. It's just a way of me seeing what I'm doing properly. All right. So yeah, and then I need to create other sections as well. So I'll duplicate this to create section for the search, and then also section for the what's it called? The notification. Sorry, the notification and the cards. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So I'll call this notification, not plus cards. I'll call this search. Then I'll leave this as menu. So now I can delete all these other rectangles. So now the next thing I can do from here is I'm trying to be more organized. That's what I'm doing here. So in this case now, I
Okay.
can decide to take off the color for this one, the section one. I still have the color for the other ones, and I can take off these eyes as well. Yeah, so everything is still working perfectly well because I'm more organized now. I can see where I need to work. So I'll just drag this in. But before I do that, I can see that this is in 20 pixel by 20 pixels height, width and height. So let me do the same thing for others. I'll log this, turn it to 20px. I'll log this, turn it to 20px. I think 24 should work as well. I'll log this again, and I'll turn it to 20px. So if that's too small, I'll turn it back to 24. And I'll drag this in. I'm dragging the instant in. Alright. So let me make this one as well. Let me make this one as well component. Let me make this Control Z. Yeah, there's something I want you to observe here. The moment I drag this, I already drag it out of its frame. Can you see that? Control Z. So be careful, be mindful
Mm,
of what you're touching. Ensure that it's the frame you are touching, not the vector itself. Because if you touch the vector itself, you can move the vector out of the frame without you noticing it.
okay.
You get it?
Okay. And it's supposed to be in the phone.
Supposed to be in the frame because some of this vector, right? Look at this now. If you look at the vector, is having 16 by, okay, this is actually even equal. At times, some vectors are not always equal, and the best way to balance them is to put them in a frame of
Okay.
equal dimension. You understand?
Okay.
Don't worry, as we progress, you will understand clearly what I mean. But the most important thing to take note of here is let it be in the frame. Let it be in the frame.
Okay.
All right. So whenever you need to move anything, ensure you are clicking on the frame. And if you can't capture that clearly, easily, is either you zoom in, is either you zoom in to see what you're dragging, or you come down to the layer section and select it. So by so doing, you've selected the frame already. All right. Then
Okay.
I'll make this a component again. Then I'll make this last one a component as well. So yeah, the next thing I want to do from here is I want to do for the search. So for the search, right, um, I'll select this guy, and this guy is about 181 width, And then the search. How do I want to like interpret that? Let me see. Let me see. I can go online and take inspiration. That is if I'm out of any ideas. But I just want to continue. I don't want to do something too crazy for now. So let's just stick with the basics. So I'll bring in my text. I'll type it in, and then I'm going to say search. 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 Or I can put it beside my icon. No. Let me just drag it back inside. Search. And then I can change the font size. If I don't want to use int, I can use Poppins. That's one of my best fonts. I can use Montserrat, not Montserrat, but I used to call it Montserrat. It's just my own way of getting to liking the fonts. And I can use Wallway. These are my fonts as well. So I can use Nunito Sans or Nunito. These are just fonts that I love. So I'm a fan of Montserrat, so I would like to stick with that. Montserrat. So I would like to stick with that. So yeah, so I'm trying to align it because it's not properly aligned. And one of the beautiful thing about Figma is whenever you drag things or something, move things around in a frame, it shows you that you are aligning it. All right, so now that's what is happening here as well. So I'm going to also Alt to duplicate this, holding Alt, and ensure that I come down into that frame so that it can clip. If you look at the layer section, so that it can clip inside the frame. But for a
Mm.
beginner, you might not get this, might be too complex for you to understand as a beginner. So you might want to do it outside and then drag it inside. But ensure that you are inside that search frame. If I move it here, you can see I'm not inside the search frame, I'm inside the all product frame instead. That's the screen. So I need to come down to inside the frame to ensure that I'm already in the right place. And I'll leave this. So they are together. I can select both of them like this and I can group them or maybe make them auto layout, either which. And in that case, I can align them and align them. This kind of alignment only shows when you are using auto layout. Don't worry, I think
Yeah.
I'm going to do a particular discussion on auto layout later on as we progress in the course. But this one allows you to align things with the appearance, relative to the appearance. All right. So now this one here is this gap between the two items, between the two of them. So I can leave this at 10 px. If the 10 px is too much, I can say 5. All right, and that makes sense. So now I can then position these ones to be in the center here like this. Yes, that makes sense. All right. So the next thing I want to do from here is I want to take my notification and my cart. So I'll drag this here. Mind you, I'm only working with the instance of this component in my design. The master components are outside, but these instance are
Okay.
the ones I'm working with within the project. So I'll select both of them and then I'll hold Alt. I can do this well because this is not my first time working with Figma, but as a beginner it might be stressy, so you might want to duplicate them one after the other. So instead of doing them at a go. So but before then, yeah, let there be something to differentiate these two. So I want to put like a stroke in between them. I'll click on the pen tool, then I'll start, and then I will end, and then I'll click on done. And if that stroke is too much, I can increase or decrease the size, but I want to leave it at 20 height. All right, that makes sense. I want to also increase the weight of the stroke to maybe like 1.5 or 2. All right, and that makes sense. I can also change the color from here. I can change it to this one. That's this gray. All right, and that makes sense as well. Then I'll select both of them, and then I'll auto layout. Auto layout is a whole lot of things, and you're going to be working with it a lot. So I'll just say not cut, and then I'll drag them inside. Yeah, and then I'll align them with this alignment. So if this stroke is too much, hold Control and select the stroke specifically. However, if you can't achieve that with your own control, just come to the layer section and select the stroke. That 1.5 looks too much. So I'll turn it to 1. And if the black is not okay, I can change it to another color. I can change it to another color like this. Alright, and that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So let me zoom out a bit. So yeah, after all said and done, the first thing I want to close here is this orange color. I want to select it. So you click on this, target it, targeting them. You have to click on this one, target places that I'm calling those colors, which is these 3 frames. This first frame, and then the second one, and then the third one. And then I'll just close the eyes like this. Now I can't see anything because I'm working on white background. I don't want to be working on white background actually. I want to be working on gray background. So I'll turn my screen background to maybe gray, like this. Alright. So then I can now change my what's it called? I can change all the color I used in my section 1. So I need to just select the master component, and then I'll turn the color to something else. Let's say the brand color is I like orange. Let's just use orange. Let's do that for the other one as well. So let's use orange throughout. Exactly, that is changed. I don't know. This is not the best though, but however, let's just still work with this temporarily. So then the text also
Okay.
needs to change. So select the text, and then I'll change the text color to yeah, to what can I change it to? Maybe black gray like this. Alright, that makes sense. So now, beautiful thing about auto layout is, I'm already in it. This is a frame, but
Yeah.
you can't see because I turn off the color. So now, does that mean that I can add, and I need to have color in that part because it is search section, and that search section needs to be in form of a box so that people can know that we can type something inside here so that we can be able to search for things. So what I can do is,
Okay.
because I'm already on auto layout gives me the privilege to add padding top and padding bottom. What that means is this, you understand now. Let me first almost give my auto layout. When I turn this to auto layout, it automatically create a frame for it. So let me give that frame a background color of maybe let's see, color that can reverse orange. I don't want to use this sharp green. Um, let's just use black. Yeah, let's use black. Let's use yellow and black. So now by having a black color, so then the next thing I want to do is I want to add a padding top and padding bottom. So this is padding top and bottom, and you can do that here like this. Maybe 5 top and bottom. So padding left and right can be 20. 20 is too small. Let's just use maybe 30. Oh, I think the entire frame is 181. So let's just use maybe 100. Oh, and then let's align that to the center of this frame. Oh, that 100 is quite much. Left and right is 100. So let's just use 50. So that will be 100. That's 50 left, 50 right. So I'll align them now. Align, align. All right. So now you can also do, what's it called? You can also do corner radius, which is this, and I can turn it to maybe 8. So that creates a round edge for the what's it called search section. So now the next thing I want to do from here is, I'm not done yet. The search text is in black color. Let me just turn it to white. Let me turn it to white. FFF, and that's it. Even if I don't want it white, I can make it a shade of gray. All right, and that's it. But then, yeah, the space between the text and then the icon looks too small, so I can increase it, and that means I have to reduce the padding as well. So let's turn this to 10, and yeah, let's check it out. Okay, so we can still increase. I'm just trying to balance it to see the one that works well for me. All right, and that makes sense. Okay, this is not fair enough. So I can align it properly now. Align it as well. Yeah. So then the next thing I want to do from here is this 8 looks too small. I want this to 4. Exactly. Despite having standard components inside of this, what do you call, inside of this search section, I can still make this search section itself a component. Not this too small, as I'm trying to rename it, because if I turn it to component, it's going to be frame one as a component. So I like renaming things so I can be able to access, tell which is which. Do you understand? So that is just me. I like the naming convention I always give to my elements so that it helps me identify them in the long run. So I'll make this a component, and after making that a component, I can, sorry, Control Z, I can copy and paste. Now, when I copy and paste, it creates instance for me. So I can now drag, let me close this instance first. I can drag the parent out, which is this master. I can drag it out. The instance is there already. So I'll select this one. Whenever I need to change anything, I can come down here. If it is color I need to change, I can come down here, change this that affects the parents. No jokes. That affects the parents. No jokes. I think I like this one. Yeah, I think I like this. It's cool. Yeah. So now we are getting everything right. So now for all these parent components, I'm still going to move them down to somewhere. But let me move them to the side for now, temporarily. Yeah, temporarily, let me move them to the side. I hope you're enjoying this one. Yeah, so I'm going to stop here for
I'm
now.
not sure I am.
I'm going to stop here for now because I know you might be a little bit overwhelmed. So, but then here is the thing. This is your task to fill each slot in across this video.
Yes, I can.
Let's continue section one. So the next part we'll have is the section two, and from the section two, right, from our application architecture, is there is filter filter section where they can filter based on the sizes, the extra large, the extra large, the large, and then the medium. Yeah, I think the boxes are quite too big to have them as this, but however, let's just do something. Let's just use that temporarily because obviously, in the future, the app is still going to take updates. So yeah. So what I want to do first is I want to create frame that represents these boxes. So I'm going to do that by creating the frame 61 by 26 pixel. Sorry, 61 by 26. All right. Okay. Yes, it's 1 by 26. And then I'm going to duplicate that. But before I do, I'll call this one extra large because that's what holds my extra large slots. I'll do is, and then I'll control D, control D, control D. All right, so now that is that about that. Then I can delete all of these. Then I can color that section so I can see what is going down the hood. Um, it's just a temporary color that I can change over time. It's just something for me to be able to identify that there are elements in that sections. All right, then I'm going to color these ones as well. All right, then. So now the next thing is extra, extra. This is extra. That's 2x, two extras large. Then this one is going to be extra large. Then this one is going to be large. And then this one is going to be medium. And then this one is going to be small. All right, so now the first thing I want to do is I want to type for the extra extra large. Oh, I need to reverse this. I'll select all of them. I'll right click, flip horizontal. Exactly, I flipped it around. So now the extra extra large starts in the first section. So I'm going to paste. I'm going to type now inside here, and then my typing is going to be XXL. Then Montserrat. I can bold this. In fact, I can even make it a capital case. I'll click on this guy and then I'll say capital case, and then I will align it properly. So it's very important that you always take note of these things that I'm doing. I always align when I'm done
Okay.
doing everything. It's very important to balance your design. Then this one is going to be extra large. Then I'll check again if it's aligned or not. And then I'll go again, then large. So what this means is whatever um, section the user clicks on is going to filter to that category. It's going to bring out the white product for that category. And then this one is going to be small, Control V. I'm copying and pasting. But one thing I want you to observe is before I copy and paste it, yeah, I always ensure I select the frame. So when I do like this, when I
Yeah.
select this frame, it will make that frame active. And then I'll paste inside that
Okay.
frame. Because if I don't do that here, if I don't select, make sure that frame is active, if I paste, it's just going to paste around. It's going to paste here. Or it might even paste
Anyway.
inside this
Okay.
frame. If you just paste anything.
Okay.
So you need to first and foremost select that section to target it and ensure that it is active, and then you paste inside of it and everything works fine. So I think
Okay.
liking the fact that there is color here. So maybe because if I take off this color now, I'm coming. Let me just change these colors to maybe like um the white colors, maybe like green, the green that we used initially. I'll just copy it from this one. Yeah, and then let me close this section, choose color. Yeah, it still looks well. It looks well. So I think I don't want to have a color for that section. But however, if you want to have color for the section, you can always leave it there. Do you get?
Yes. Yes.
Personal preference. That's just my own way. I don't want to have color there, so I just want that plain white background and everything looks so well. All right, yeah, our design is beginning to come to life. I don't know. I think I'm not feeling this green color because of these parts. But however, the colors can be changed. That's not a problem still. So the next thing I want to do from here is I want to check my information info architecture again and see what that part looks like. I want to have the image. I want to have the label. And what would this label be? I think the label is all about featured image, sponsored image, I don't know, premium.
I think it's discount or something.
Okay,
Yes.
no, I think the label is actually the category it belongs to. Or,
Okay. Okay.
or
Mm,
Sha, the gender
they used it for discount. Like if there is any discount on the product, it
yeah.
will appear there. That was what you said the other day. Oh.
So we'll move forward from there. So let's just go do that. So the first thing first I want to do from here is I'll come down here. Let's get okay. This is my colon here. My colon. This is the entire colon, and then this is going to be my image. So for my image, this is just a rectangle. So if I paste image here, it's not going to work, except I turn the fill into image like this and I drag image in. But one bad thing about this is I won't be able to adjust the image. I won't be able to get hold of the image and adjust it. So
Oh.
so that's the thing. I'm coming, sorry, cancel. So let me just right click and then get my plugins on photos. Let's try that first move first. Let's try the first move, which is using this rectangle. And I'm loading my plugins now. It's coming up, I guess. Let me hide this. Let me try that again. Photos. I guess that is loading. So in the meantime, while that is loading, let's check other things that we can put. Okay, I'm not allowed to do any other thing because photo is loading. Okay, yeah, I can do now. Now price menu. What does menu means? Okay, menu is just like options that you can explore. Okay, I get it. Product name. Yeah, let's just go add product name. I want to really do this thing one after the other, so let me not rush. So let's start first with the image. So I'll select this and then I'll go all the way. Um, clothing, or let's just type clothing. Let's see what we have got. Yeah, so So let me select this one, inserting photo here. So now here is the thing, here is the challenge. So when I click on this now, let me click on this image now, the view. That's the challenge. I can't get hold of this image. Like I can't adjust it. It is fixed. That is what happens
Okay.
if you convert a
The
rectangle
rectangle to
to view.
image.
You can't control
Okay.
it. But there's another way, right? I'm going to do that for this one. Or
Okay.
let me just do it right away because yeah, I might not remember anymore. So the other
Okay.
way is I'll create a frame instead, and I'll create a frame of that dimension. What's the dimension? The dimension is okay, come here, let me click 161 by 200. So yeah, I'll just click 161 by 200. So I can type in that here, 161 by 200, and then I'll position it properly. All I just need to do is drag it down into the right place and then position it properly. So the right place is this column 1, drag it there and then ensure it's positioned on top of this image. So let me give it a color so I can see what is going on there. All right, I think it's well positioned actually. So if I turn off, this is it. So I can turn off this color, and you can also do the same thing for frame as well. You can turn this to maybe image as well. You can see, but I don't want that to. I don't really want that. So what I can do here is let me see if I can drag this out. Oh, I won't be able to drag this out because because the way this works is it wants me to apply it on any object I select. So what I can do is let me just go to Google, or let me assume I have pictures downloaded in my local system,
Okay.
which is Google, and then press loading free images. So yeah, so I just have this. Then I'm going to take all of this. I'm going to right click. I can copy and paste it. Control V. So it's pasted. Now here is the thing. Here is, sorry, Control Z. Here is the image. Here it's out here. So here is the frame. This
Okay.
is the frame. Let me close this one. This is the frame. So let me color the frame so that you can see the frame. Let me give it a different
Okay.
color. Let me close this guy because I don't need it anymore. So give it a different color here. Here is the frame. Here is the image. So I'll just drag the image inside of this frame. Inside the frame. It's not going inside yet, but it's going inside the all products frame. So I'll just go and look for it wherever it is. All products. Here it is. And I'm meant to drag it to column 1. So I'll drag it down to column 1. So it's inside column 1, and it's not even inside column 1 that I want it to be. It is inside this frame, which is the image frame, image img. So I'll drag it now and then I'll bring it inside the image frame. So now it is inside the image frame. So all I can do is, when I was outside the image frame, it was covering this part. It was covering this title, image product title. So now that it's inside the frame, it's not covering it anymore. So now this gives me the privilege to adjust it, to scale it. I can scale it. That's me dragging it inside the frame.
Okay.
I can scale it, yeah. Unlike me pasting it automatically, that doesn't give me the privilege to scale. Do you understand?
Okay.
Exactly. Now, here is the thing. Here is the image. Here is the label. Let me just
So I have to create a frame around the rectangle,
yeah,
then import image.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. However, you can still go that route that I showed you initially, which is this very one. This one.
If the image fits perfectly.
Exactly. If the image fit perfectly, you can go that route. Sort of up to
Okay.
your decision. Okay, so I'll close this one and then I'll turn this one back on. And then the next thing I want to do from here is this label. Well, you said it's for discount, right? So how do we add that discount? It's not even coming to my head. So I'm sorry, because I'm not okay. Let's just say 50% off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, 20%. Let me say 20%, 20 or 5%. and then we'll say stroke through. We'll say stroke through. Yeah, here is it, stroke through. So yeah, that shows that it's 5% slashed. So I'll drag it inside this label. So now it's not going to go inside label because label is not a frame. Label is a rectangle, and that's one thing about using frame instead of
Where
rectangle.
did you scroll through?
What did you say?
So I lost. Where did you scroll through?
Stroke through, not stroke. So you click on this option.
Stroke through.
You click on this
Okay.
settings, type settings here. When you click on it,
Okay.
here,
Okay. Stroke. Strike through.
strike through. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So that's it. So now moving forward, this won't clip inside the label.
But it's supposed to be flipped to say horizontal and be vertical. I'm not good at that.
You can rotate it. So just turn it to 90 degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
This
Yeah,
one
exactly.
60 degree, and yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So in addition, yeah. So now what I want you to observe here is, like I said, these can clip inside of this, and that's because this is a rectangle, and rectangle are not
Okay, okay,
elements or objects. So what
okay.
I can do is I'll bring out a stroke here, and then the stroke now.
A
One thing
frame?
is Control Z. One thing is the moment you have a frame or whatever, and you are trying to create
Okay.
on top of the frame, it will clip it inside, like it will put it inside that frame. So if you observe this now, right? Let me do that again.
Yeah.
If you observe this, let me select this to be active, and then I'll try to create the frame again. It will automatically draw the frame inside the image frame. So you have to be mindful of that. So at times, this at this point, beginners are always called up with I create frame, I can't find it again. They are always giving that complaint. So
It's
you
actually difficult to catch up with that layers while you are designing on the board.
know, right?
It just looks like it's disappearing and coming and going everywhere.
Sorry, you just have to like. I understand. Don't worry, you will get along very soon, very soon. All right, moving forward. So what I just want you to observe here is I created a new frame, right? But the frame automatically just clip inside the image frame without my
Yeah,
consent. Like if
and it shouldn't be there.
should be there, yeah, exactly. What you can do is you have
Okay,
to drag it out of there. So what I'm saying is
okay,
you just have to mind that at times when you are struggling and you are looking for a particular frame that you've created, it might probably be that is inside an existing frame. You understand? So
okay,
that's why the layer section is very, very important to be checking from time to time. So now in this case,
okay,
I'm going to give this one label. Exactly. But then before I do that, let me use this frame to balance this. I'll align top. Exactly. Control Z. This is what I'm actually doing. Let me color so that you can see what I'm doing there. So let's say this is this color. If I zoom in, you can see is leaving some space out at the top.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me zoom in more. Yes, there's a little bit space at the top. So that's what I want to
Yes.
align it with. So I'll just align top here, align to the top. It moves to the top. Then I'll then drag it out.
Okay,
So after dragging it out, then I'll now drag this one inside of it. That's the 5. I'm working
okay,
my layer now. I'm not even working on this align.
yeah,
Then I will now have
yeah,
it again. Align center horizontally, align center vertically. Then I'll zoom out. I'll zoom out here.
okay.
It is looking so nice and sleek. So the next thing I want to do,
Mhm.
yeah, the next thing I want to do from here is I want to like have the name of this product. So I'll just call this one product one because I really don't have any name on mind. Product one. So it's at the back of this rectangle. So
Okay,
or let me just say product title. Product one is fine. Yeah, product one is fine. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to create a frame to represent this one at the back here. Let me close this eye temporarily, and then let me create a frame
okay,
here. I'll click and drag on top of it like this. So that is fine. So now I can turn this back on. So I can delete this one, and I can click on this one, and I can turn.
oh.
What did you say?
I said, oh, girl.
Okay,
Yeah.
you turn this color on again. Exactly. So now the product one is inside of this frame. So I can call this one Pro Title. I'll rename it Product Title.
Okay.
Next one is for the menu. So that one have to be beside the product title. I'm still trying to organize my layer as well. While trying to design, I'm organizing my layer. I'm doing two things because I don't want to come
Yeah.
to doing it after I'm done designing.
Later. Okay.
Exactly. So I just want to do everything once and for all. So here, that's my menu. So at this point, I need another menu icon. So I'll just make this small. I can delete this one at the back, delete, and then I'll call this one menu or options. So I can give this color temporary. It's just a temporary color so that something that I can always reference to know that there's a section there. So I can scale this up a little bit like this, and then I can align this one perfectly well to be at the center. Yeah, like this because that menu is not going to take too many space. So I'm going to right click now, and then I'm going to click on plugin iconify again, and then I'm going to grab my menu again menu. I can just since I already have a menu created there, I can just use that menu. But because I want this
Yes.
to look a little bit different, that's why.
Okay.
And moreover, the menu hub there it's component, so I can use it as of time. But this is the kind of this one precisely.
Oh, okay, okay,
Exactly. That's the reason why I didn't want to use that one. So I'll close
okay,
this again because I'm done, and then I'll call this one. I'll rename it to options. Option.
okay.
So and then I'm going to do the same thing, components, and then I'm going to duplicate it as well, and then I'm going to duplicate it inside here. I duplicated it outside already. Then I'll
Yeah, you know, try to.
yeah, then I'll drag it
Yeah.
inside. Then I'll align it. Align. Yeah, everything is perfect now. So if I need to
Okay.
scale it a little bit smaller, I can do that here like this, 20, and it reduces this one as well. So I'll come down here and then reposition this again, select it, reposition it properly. Exactly, perfect. So now in this case, now that I'm done with this one, I can take off the background. Exactly. I can change the
Okay.
selection color. That is if I want, and if I don't want, I can even turn it from the parent. I can turn it from the parent and then it applies on that one. But black is okay for now so that we can have contrasting colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so now for this one, I really don't feel I want to use have a background for it. So let me take off this background. Let me take off this background color and then let me turn the color selection color to maybe this or maybe
Okay.
green, the green that I use. And I can even align it to the left so that I start from the left hand side. Sorry, let me select
Yeah.
the text and align left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so things are getting to shape. These are falling into shape now. So last but not the least is we have this here. Let me collapse this. We have this as well. Let me collapse this. That's a mistake in the name convention. Let me collapse this as well. Let me move this to the top, showing that it's the first one. Then this other one is the brand name. Yeah, the brand. So yeah, the price comes first before the brand. So in this case, I want to have another frame created because frame allow me to clip text inside of it, while rectangle doesn't allow that functionality.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I think I moved something. Control Z. Okay, I'm just trying to adjust this
This
properly.
layers is the most difficult part of this.
I know, I know. Don't worry. You get along price, then I'll drop it down and then I'll type in the price. Let's say dollars. Let's say $50. $50 for that, or maybe $150. Oh, sorry, I said 15. $150. And then let me delete this one because it's not needed anymore. Then let me move this one, align it properly, and then I can even scale it up if that price needs to be more seen than others. So and then I'll align it again. Yeah. So then even if I want to change the color, I can do that as well. I can change the color but I can beginning to see that there are too many space in between. So that means I'm not supposed to even have a 20 pixel distance margin between these two things.
That's good.
So I'm seeing spaces, too many white spaces in between, and it's making my design look somehow ugly. I'll copy this. No, no, no.
Hmm.
I'll have to create this one as well. I'll create it
Okay.
again, ensure that everything is balanced, and then I'll call this one brand. I really don't know what this brand is doing though. There are people
Like the name, like Nike,
I know people are design about
Gucci.
maker, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because one of the things that bets all this the structuring and designing is what users want to see, and that's the reason why I'm
Yeah.
giving it to them. So I'm going to give this Adidas, and I really don't know why all of them is copying in capital, coming out in capital case. So I have to change settings from these to this none exactly Adidas. So this should be 12, and it shouldn't be bold, maybe medium or regular. So yeah, let me find out that we're done with every part of this part exactly. Okay, I have to balance this align, but we are not done yet. Yeah, few other things need to be done, which is balancing this place completely. So, but before then,
Yeah.
what I want to do is I want to give this my column color so that I can be able to adjust that part clearly. Let me give it gray
Okay.
exactly, or yeah, gray is fine. So now let me begin to adjust it. So the first thing first is the product title and then the option. The distance between that and the image is 10 px. That's fine. So, but for the price and then the what's it called? I really don't want any distance between them. So let me adjust this correctly. They're not even aligned properly. So align them. Oh, okay. It's their sizes that is not equal. This is 25i. This is
Yeah.
26i. So 26 is what you meant to be exactly, and then align them properly, and then move them close to this. It will stack. You will know because it will stack. That's when you know
Yeah.
it's exactly close to it. So now, having said that, yeah, 26. I feel 26 is too big. The height, we can even reduce it more to maybe like 20. 20 is fine exactly. So yeah, and then let's align these items again back inside this correctly. Exactly, they are well aligned. Alright, so now the next thing I want to do from here is I want to turn this product name to, do I want it in capital case? No, I don't want capital case. I want sentence case. No, no, no. This is fine. So this shouldn't be 12. It should be more bigger than that. Maybe like 15 or 16. So 16 is fine. So after that, I want to align it as well again. All right, so now that is properly aligned. Everything is looking okay. So I just need to adjust this part again. Exactly. Exactly. Now everything is looking
But
a bit.
sorry, since it's not showing, we eventually close the color. Do we really need to adjust that part?
This one, Abby.
Yes.
Okay, no, I'm still trying to figure out how it will look properly. So that's the thing. But it's going to
Okay. No, I'm just asking a question. Like, if since we are still going to remove the color,
yeah.
like this, do we really need to adjust the
No,
bottom of the frame?
removing the color. I'm going to add color there, and I'm going to give it a shadow. A
Oh,
shadow
okay,
there.
okay,
So I'm just trying to
okay,
plan. So yeah, I can see that this is what I'm missing. So there needs to be space
okay,
here. There needs to be space here. So I'll go again.
okay.
Exactly, I'll go again. So the first thing first I want to do from here is yes. What else? What else? I can convert this to. I can convert this frame to auto layout first. So now it's auto layout. Then I can push
Okay,
this one forward. So maybe 10 px exactly space. It is auto layout. It's
okay,
having 10. So do the same thing for this one as well. Auto layout. Move it 10 px as well. 10 pixel forward. Now observe what I'm doing here is I'm only adjusting the left
The
side,
pattern.
the left, yeah,
Okay.
the padding left. See, if you click on this, it will make them show independently. But if
Okay.
it's not clicked, they come to be as one. All right,
Okay.
so now I clicked on it. Now you can see the left is having 10 padding left.
Yes.
Exactly. So now that is that about that. So the same thing applies to these. I'll turn to auto layout and then I'll do a right of 10. Okay,
Right pattern.
move it right first, align right first. And then I'll do a right padding here like this, 10 px, and then I'll adjust it again. Exactly. So now, yeah, okay, this is fair enough, and everything looks so
Yes.
balanced.
Aligning with
Yeah, what
yes.
I now need to do here is I really don't know. I don't like this choice of colors that I used. So for these ones, for this black here, I want to change the blacks to maybe let me change all of them first to black and then adjust the black to I don't want it in dark black. Something like this is fine. Then say this as well, 56, 56, 56 as well. Let me still leave everything at black because I'm not sure of what the end result will look like. So let me zoom out a bit. Okay, this is it. But this needs to be adjusted to align with this. So I'll select both of them and then I'll align. No, I'll make auto layout. So when I make auto layout, it will give me the
They'll both.
privilege to align them to the center like this. You can see that came down, right?
Yes.
Did you observe that? Control Z.
Yes.
Control Z. Let me do Control Z first. Control Z. Now they are standing individually like this. We have the price separate. We have the brand separate. I'll select both
Yes.
of them and then I'll make it auto layout.
Okay.
Now they're both together as one. I can call this um, price PR plus BR as brand. Then now they are together, but then the Adidas looks a little bit at the top. So once I
Yeah.
click on this one here, align left, align center. This is center here. So the Adidas comes
Okay.
down to the center. You
Okay.
get it?
Yes.
Exactly. We can do the same thing for these ones as well. Auto layout both of them, and at the same time call this TT for title plus option.
Product and option.
Okay, yeah. So now the next thing is align as well to the center, so both of them look so organized. Okay, yeah. I think one thing that is a little bit off here is because the product price and then the product um name,
Name.
they are both bold. So they are both sharing the emphasis. We really don't know which one is more
Yes.
focused on. So I'm going to
Yeah.
reduce it a bit and I'm going to adjust this one here. Letter spacing. I'm adjusting the letter spacing. You can see that.
Yeah.
And then I can increase this to maybe 18. Exactly. I increased it more, but I adjusted the letter spacing. I can even adjust it like this. Exactly. So now it's a little bit like this is a little bit out of the stuff. So what I can do is I'll click on this to keep it to the top and then adjust this inward. You can see now. Are you seeing that?
Yes. But
I
it's
know
only adjusting from the right,
no,
but they are both auto layout.
you are not getting it. What happened is when I increase this to 18 Ctrl Z, now everything looks balanced like this. But the moment I
Okay.
adjusted this to sorry, the moment I adjusted this to 18 and then
Yes, it's
I then
moved.
adjust the letter spacing. As the
Yes.
letter is spacing, it's pushing the option out. You can
Yeah,
see
I
now
get.
the option is out. So now to control that, right? Because the option and then the title they are together and they are made one auto layout. I don't need to touch
Yeah.
them individually. I'll just come to the auto layout that group both of them together, and then I'll adjust that inward. I'll reduce that to be help me with
Okay, the space between them.
exactly.
Okay, okay,
Now the same thing applies to
okay.
this Adidas looks a little bit far from the side. So let me just adjust this outside and then come down to the Adidas itself and adjust the 10 px margin inward.
Okay.
Exactly. Now I can zoom out a bit. Everything looks okay now. So everything looks a bit okay. Just that if I need to add color, I can then add color. But I think I'm not okay still. So at this point, it's all about balancing, ensuring that the design is very balanced. So now I want to adjust the space between these two things. They are too close to each other. So I'll select both of them and then I'll adjust that space. Sorry. This and this. That's the TT Top PR
Portfolio.
brand. So I will
Yeah.
adjust this space between them. hmm So maybe 5 is fine, I guess. So that means the space between them is 5. You get
Okay. Yeah.
exactly. So at this point, what I was doing, trying to adjust the space and do all of that, is I'm just trying to balance and get a right spacing for them.
Yeah.
Do you get? So
I get.
I can as well color this and maybe as well I need to reduce this one. Everything doesn't have to be 12, maybe 10 and maybe even 8. And then I can maybe bold it semi bold and then I can maybe adjust it again to the right hand side, exactly. And then I can maybe zoom out and check everything. Okay, looks a little bit okay. So I'm going to turn this one to white color. Sorry, select this column 1 and then turn it to white color completely. That's white and then add background effect shadow to it, shadow effect. First and foremost, I'll drag the shadow to the left hand side, right hand side, and then drag it to the bottom y axis. Y is for top and bottom, x is for left and right. Do you understand? And then I can blur
Yes.
it more. I can blur it more. I can blur it more. Sorry, it's back. So after blurring it more, I can reduce the transparency from 25 to 15 px. So you can see 15 px.
Okay, that's what makes it look like the image is bulging out of the screen or something.
It's
It
not
gives it this 3D effect, kind of, or it's not this one.
this one, Abby.
No, there's sometimes I see images bulging out of the screen, like it's I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'll send what I'm trying to
Okay, you
say.
can actually tell. Let's see. Let's have an idea of what you're talking about. So now the next thing is I
Yeah.
can make the shadow spread. That's if I spread it around like this. But I don't want it to spread too
Okay.
much, so obviously leave it at 3. And then blur. The blur is okay. Exactly. And I think everything is quite okay. Except that I want to add corner radius to the column 1. And the corner radius I want to use here should be maybe 6.
Okay.
So 6 is fair enough. 6 is fair enough. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, yes, let me zoom out a bit. So yeah, here we have it. This is it. Oh, I think I need to adjust the space between the Adidas and then the what's it called? The Adidas and then the price a bit because the Adidas is not aligning well with the options at the top. Exactly. hmm Everything looks okay now. Everything looks okay to me now. All right.
Yeah.
So can change this color to maybe the green that we've been using. I can change it to the green that we've been using. Just to have a look and feel of that brand color. Let me see if I can change if I should change this one to that, maybe it will look okay as well. Yeah, it's not bad, it's fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah?
Yes. Yes, it's good.
Alright. So yeah, so now what I can do is after I'm done designing this column one here, the next thing I want to do
Mm.
from here is I'll select this column one completely and then I'll make
Okay,
it a
I'll pause.
component.
Okay.
So after making it a component, oh sorry, before that, I'll make the image a component first so that I can be able to change the image from time to time. I'll make the image a
Okay.
component and then I'll delete this one that I created in the first place. I'll copy it and then I'll paste it and then I'll select this one. Let me close this. I'll select this one This is the parent master component. I'll drag it out.
Okay.
Now the second one is inside there. The one I pasted, this is it.
Okay.
It's inside already. So now what I'm going to do is I'll then what's it called? Make this a component.
Okay.
After making that a component, I'll copy it and then I'll paste it again. Sorry. And then I'll drag the master component as well. I'll drag it out like this. And then I'll come back to the section, this one, and then I'll come down to the one I close the eye, which is this one, and then I'll call this product one. Okay, no, I'm supposed to rename the parent product one or product. Let me just say product. So it automatically applies to the child as well, I guess. Okay, that didn't change. I can call this product one, pro one. Then I'll copy this instance again, and then I'll paste the instance, and then I'll move the instance to the right hand side like this. I'll delete all of these things that are in column 2. Or let me move it now. When I drag it to the right hand side, it went inside of column 2 because column 2 is a frame. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It went inside of column 2. So I'm going to drag column 2. I'm going to drag this out and I'm going to delete this column 2. So now here is it. We have both of them. I'm going to continue again. Again, and I'm going to like shift and alt to duplicate that part again.
Okay.
And then Ctrl D again. So that's that about that. So yeah. So that is that about that. So I'm going to delete all other columns that I have inside my let me first and foremost close these eyes. All the eyes that all the duplicate that I've created, let me close all of them so I can be able to see what I need to delete perfectly. You get?
Yeah.
It's important you don't miss it. You have to close some of them so that you can be able to see other ones. Right, so I'll turn on this one first, I'll turn on this one next, I'll turn on this one again, and I'll turn on this one again. So now here is the thing. So okay, yeah, we have 3 rows. So this is one row, this is another row, and this is another row, this is another row. So we have 3 rows and two columns. 3 rows, two columns.
Yeah.
Alright, so now here is the thing. So if I zoom out now, I can see what I have. Do you get? So now if
Yeah.
I come back to my Google here, and then I'll pick up another coding. Let's say I pick up this one.
Okay.
Let me pick up this one again. I'll right click on this. Oh, it's still loading. I'll right click on this, copy, and then I'll come down to my hardboard and I'll paste. I'll move this to the side. Now I'll come down to this. I'll duplicate this image component. Don't worry, you have to
Yeah.
watch the video again. You know, no, I know it's a
Uh,
sorry. I'll duplicate this component again. I'm just showing you the beautiful thing of
yeah,
components.
I understand. I
Yes.
understand.
Now, I've just duplicated this image again. Don't forget that all these
Yeah.
images you are seeing now, they are instances of this parent, this master's component. All of them
Yeah. Yeah.
are instances. So
Yeah.
now I just created another instance out of this instance. But what I'm going to do here is I'm
Yes.
going to right click and attach this instance. So when I detach it, it's no longer conformed to this one anymore.
Okay. So now we can now make use of it to
It's on its
replace
own.
the
So I'm
image.
going to delete this
Okay.
image inside, and then I'm going to drag this image inside. Then I'm going to
Okay.
reduce the scaling completely, adjust it completely, exactly. I'm holding shift so that it goes in a proportional.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So now moving forward from there, right? So the next thing I want to do from here is I want to turn this image frame. I wasn't on this image as a picture. The image frame. Do you understand? Because
Hmm.
that's this dimension we're working with 161 by 200, not the dimension of this one 300 by 200. So I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
this image component. I made the image frame a component. All
Oh.
right. So
Okay.
now that is a component. So I'll come down here to this instance. This instance
Mm.
here,
Mm.
this one, no, not the image. Now, when I click on, I'm supposed to look for this instance with through this layer, but it will take me time
Yeah.
to identify where it is. So what I did
Yeah.
is the shortcut to it is I held Control on the keyboard and then I selected that point. So it automatically
Okay.
just moved my
Okay. Okay.
stuff to that point. Now when you move it to that
Yeah.
point, selecting the image. The image is
Okay.
not what I need to select. The instance is what I want to select.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Because the instance is what I want to change. So I'll click on this instance here. Let me give this one a new name so that I can be able to identify what it is. This one is going to be image 2.
Image two.
Exactly. This
Yeah.
one is going to be image 1. All right, so I'll have to look for that image again. So I'll go back again. I'll do it again. Then I'll come back to click on image 1 instance.
You held control, right?
Control, yeah, control on the keyboard. Control and select.
Okay.
Control and select.
Okay.
Control and select. It's going to take me
Okay.
down to where the layer is. So then
Okay.
I'll click on this instance, image 1 instance. Then I'll switch from image 1 to what? Image 2. Simple.
I didn't get that one.
Control Z. So what happened is once I click control and selected, it went to the image. But I clicked on the
Yes.
instance instead because the instance is what I want to change because the instance is the component.
Yes.
Then I
Yeah.
come down to this design palette. After coming to
Okay.
design
Okay.
palette, I switch the image one from image one to master component image two. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Exactly. So you switch that to image two. Now I can begin to change the text.
Okay.
So this is going to be product two, and then the price of this one is going to be maybe about $100. And then
Okay.
this one is not Nike, is not Adidas. Maybe this one is probably Puma or so. So the only thing that needs to change from here is the spacing. So I'll select the auto layout and then I'll space it out a bit again. Exactly. Then after done with that, I'll zoom out again. I'll zoom out again and then I'll come down to go online and pick the product I want to use again. And then I'll continue. So let me take another product. Let me fill up this slot that I've created. So let me pick up this one. Yeah. Let me pick up this one. I think I like this. I'll copy it and then I'll come down again and then I'll paste it. So in this case now, I'll be having another image called image 3. First of all, I have to duplicate the instance of this and then I'll detach the instance again and then I'll title this one as image 3.
Okay. If we don't make it a component, we won't be able to do what you did at the
Exactly.
local components the other
Exactly.
time. Okay. Okay.
So I'll delete
Okay.
it. Okay, no, before I delete it, I'll make this proportion. It's proportion already. So that's going to be 300 by, okay, let me say 300. All right, here. So I'll drag this inside of this and then I'll delete the other one. Sorry, before dragging it, let me delete this one first. And then I'll drag this inside of that frame. One beautiful thing about using frame, it clips image, it
It's
clips items.
closing.
It clips
Yeah.
items. Um, rectangle tool will not do that for you. So yeah,
Mm.
the next thing I want to do, let me duplicate this more so that I don't have to be detaching instance too many times. Again,
Okay.
D. So this one is going to be image 4, image 5, and image 6. So yeah, and this one is good. Now they are all going to be made component individually.
Okay.
Component. Oh no, no, I can't make all this one component except I add image inside them. Component next. So I'll come down to this one. I'll come down to its what's it called? Its instance. In case you can't find the instance, just click on this guy here. It's going to take you back to the
Okay.
instance. Oh, sorry, that's
Okay.
actually taking me to the instance of the entire product.
Frame.
That's not what I want. So once you click on control, select that image, go to the instance like this. Just select it here, and then switch from
Yeah.
image 1 to
Select
image
the
3.
image.
Exactly. So now if this one is not properly in the center, just touch the parent, adjust the parent. You can see it's adjusting the
Yeah.
child. Are you seeing that?
Yeah.
I don't need to touch the child. Once I do anything to the parent, it's going to affect the child. Product 3. So now in this case, 3 has already pushed away.
Moved the option
So what I'll
icon.
do is I'll select the auto layout that old the title and then the icon together, which is this TTOP.
Yeah.
Now adjust this inward. Exactly. So this one is about maybe let's say $250. Or no, that's quite much. Let's say $80 actually. Or 90. Yeah, sorry. So that Nike is the maker of this one. Then we can adjust the brand and then the price. Now we're moving this one outward. We're always moving that one inward. So funny.
Yeah.
So now, yeah, here is the thing. So now that's that about that. I feel with these little examples, you should be able to understand how others work. But then I just want to
Like
repeat it.
I
Let's.
think so too.
I'm coming. No, you are still going to do your own example, definitely.
But not today.
What did you say? You want to take it over now?
I said
Oh, yeah,
but
it's
not
almost past
today.
already. I didn't even observe the
It's
time. Time is
almost
fast.
time.
It's always fun.
Yeah, I'll be picking my
It's always
kids
fun when
by
we do
5.
class. I
Yeah.
don't really get to know that the time is past actually. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, let me move this in. So once I'm done, we can wrap up today's class and I'll share the video later in the day with you. Yeah, later in the day with you. So you can use that to fix any challenges that you might
I
run
can't wait
into.
to get
Yeah,
to be done with all
I'll
this.
component again, and then I'll select this again. I'll click on image again, and then I'll switch to this image 4 exactly, and then I can turn this one to color
Change the
for me.
price.
So yeah, that's it. I'm zooming in, escape, and then select the stuff. That the auto layer that holds both of them. Adjust this a bit
Yeah.
inward. Exactly, and maybe this one can be $50. Oh, that's quite too much for $50. 250 is fine. So yeah, adjust this one as well to maybe inward. Exactly. Yeah, that is fine. So yeah, that is that about that for this our own page. And
Oh, no, this
everything is
thing
background, but the ground
is-
gray. So I don't want too much gray. Let me just adjust this up a bit. Don't want it too much gray, but however I want gray exactly. That's fair enough. So now what I usually do is after having all these components outside here, let me take all okay, let's
Yeah.
take all of them. I'll create a new page and then I'll call
Okay.
that component. Although in my assets, all components are already stored in my asset, all of the component I'm using. But I personally like
Okay.
creating a new page and then moving all of this,
Okay.
select all of them. And what I'll do is
Mm.
I'll right click and then I'll say move to page component. It moves all of them to this page. Moves
Okay.
them here. And the reason for that is because so that they don't get my page or my design messed up like this.
Okay. Okay.
Now everything is looking better
Good.
where it should. You get everything
Yeah.
is looking better. So I'm okay with it like this. Perfect,
Okay.
perfect. I'm okay like this. Compared to the way they were on the side and disturbing the screen and I can't see anything. You get? So this is okay for me. So yeah, that is that about that for today's class.